Welcome back, it's season 3, Beyond Business, come ride with me. Nick Freno in the house, sharing stories that inspire. From every walk of life, we're lighting that fire. Lessons learned, journeys shared, good vibes and laughs, we're fully prepared. Brought to you by Buick Real Estate. Let's dive deep, it's gonna be great. From the ups and downs, we rise and grind. Every guest has a tale, every tale is a find. Exploring the wisdom that life has to give. Together we grow, that's how we live. Lessons learned, journeys shared, good vibes and laughs, we're fully prepared. Brought to you by Buick Real Estate. Let's dive deep, it's gonna be great. So grab a seat, don't miss the ride. Beyond Business with Nick, let's take it in stride. Join the conversation, let's make it last. With stories and insights, we're having a blast.
Hey listeners, before we kick off today's episode, I want to take a moment to highlight our incredible Season 3 sponsor, Buick Commercial Real Estate. If you're in the market for commercial properties in Central Illinois, look no further than Buick Commercial Real Estate. With a dedicated team led by Tim Buick and Cole Babcock, they bring unparalleled expertise and a deep understanding of the local market to meet your commercial real estate needs. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest, Tim and Cole are committed to providing personalized service and guidance every step of the way. Their passion for helping clients navigate the complexities of commercial real estate sets them apart in the industry. So, if you're ready to take your business to the next level or find that perfect commercial space, reach out to Buick Commercial Real Estate. You can find them on all social media platforms at buickrealestate.com or give them a call at 217-450-8500. Trust me, you'll be in great hands. And thank you, Tim and Cole, for your unwavering support of our show. If you're looking to refresh your space or tackle that long-awaited project, Clean Cut Painting and Handyman is here to help. Clean Cut specializes in a wide range of services, from stunning interior and exterior painting and small construction projects to room remodels, deck staining, and flooring. They truly have the expertise to transform your home into the beautiful sanctuary you've always dreamed of, or even just take care of the things you have been putting off that need done. And guess what? They have some fantastic promotions running this March. If you book any interior painting project for March or April dates, you'll receive an incredible 15% off. It's a perfect time to give your home a fresh look just in time for spring. If you're thinking of sprucing up the outside of your home, they've got that covered too. You can enjoy 10% off exterior painting projects under $5,000. And if you're planning a larger project, get ready for a jaw-dropping $1,000 off any exterior painting projects over $5,000. So whether you're looking to enhance your home's curb appeal or make your interior pop, Clean Cut Painting and Handyman is the one to call. Visit their website or give them a call today to take advantage of these amazing offers. Remember, when you choose Clean Cut, you're not just getting a service, you're supporting a company that empowers women in the industry. If you're in the market for custom apparel, look no further than Oakwood Screen Printing. This company specializes in all things apparel, offering high-quality designs on everything from t-shirts to hoodies to hats to bags to jackets to wall art to office swag to mugs to tumblers to, well, you name it, and they customize it. Whether you're promoting your business, celebrating a special event, or just want to express your unique style, Oakwood Screen Printing has you covered. What sets them apart is their attention to detail and commitment to customer satisfaction. They use top-notch materials and the latest printing techniques to ensure your designs look vibrant and last for years to come. For a limited time, if you use promo code BB217 at checkout, you will receive an additional 15% off your order. So, if you want to make a statement with your apparel, reach out to Oakwood Screen Printing today at oakwoodscreenprinting.com. You won't be disappointed. And now let's get into today's conversation.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special bonus episode of Beyond Business brought to you by View and Commercial Real Estate. Let's just say that explosive, dynamic, and completely original are just some of the words that have described perhaps one of the most powerful entertainers in the comedy world today. This Emmy-nominated comedian has entertained millions of comedy fans in the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, and Africa. His unique blend of material, improvisation, and characters has made him one of the most sought-after comedians in the entertainment industry today. From being the voice of Universal Studios' Bullwinkle J. Moose and ESPN's 30 for 30 is Jimmy the Greek himself, this multifaceted, bilingual comedian is touring worldwide to sold-out audiences and will be coming to none other than your very own Decatur, Illinois, to our Civic Center this March 7, 2025 as part of the Taste This World Tour. Welcome, the world-famous Basil, and thank you for joining me on Beyond Business. It's a pleasure to have you sit down with me, my man.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. I'm glad that just rolled off. How basically you improvised that whole intro. You're simply amazing in your own right. So much. You're wonderful.
So let's go like this.
Sure.
I don't know how far you will let me take you back, but where'd you come from? Where were you born at before you became a comedian? Where's home? I know you're Greek, but are you from Greece, or are you just from a Greek family?
I'm from a Greek family. I was born in the United States and in New Jersey, believe it or not. And
okay.
My father and my mother moved to Long Island, New York, to build a restaurant because it's the law. And, if you're Greek, you have to have a restaurant. If it wasn't for us Greeks, I'm pretty sure half the free world would starve, to be quite honest with you. So, my father opened up a restaurant place.
Hey, you guys cook. You guys know what you're doing. I mean,
it's kind of funny. A lot of people don't know that back in the war days, from the First World War, Second World War, Korean War, even Vietnam, if you had an ISOSAS or an IOU at the end of your name, you were put in the kitchen. Tens of thousands of Greeks were saved in all those wars because they were in the back cooking. And for me, it's hysterical, and it's historically true. And we were just known to be in the kitchens because we would always cook with our parents, and even I worked at my dad's restaurant since I was 8 years old, and I still, remember my father flipping over 2 milk cartons that carried 4 1-gallon, gallons of milk, and my father would flip them over, and I'd be in front of a grill, laying out 48. There was 2 cases, so that's 24 burgers. And there was 48 burgers that I would quarter pounders. I'd throw on an open flame grill. I'm 8 years old. And aren't we breaking any type of child labor laws? Aren't we doing something like that? And the thing is, my father was so short. My dad was only, 5'3", and I'm 6'2". And my father, and for years, I always asked my father, Dad, am I adopted? You can tell me the truth. He goes, no, it's okay. We're allowed to rent you. It's not a problem. And so I was starting to cook at 8, and even the customers would get the biggest kick out of it. But here you have an 8-year-old throwing 48 burgers on a grill, salt and pepper them, flipping them over. Flames are coming through this charcoal grill. And my dad's and people are like, hey, Basil, who's in charge? I said, I am. I'm 8 years old. My father's sitting there, goes, well, shut up, you.
This is my joint. Right.
I was born in New York, and then wound up. I left high school, to play ball, and I went to Purdue. And so,
what kind of ball?
Football.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you play throughout college?
No, I wish I could have said I have. No, I played for about a season and a half, and wound up, but I was to the point where I got my ass kicked so badly left around. I was big man on campus in Long Island. All of a sudden you find out not as big man on campus when you're in Lafayette, Indiana. So
Oh no, that's a reality story, really. I mean,
oh, there's
yeah.
no two ways about it. But I loved playing ball. It was but I have the fingers to prove that every bone in my body has practically been broken.
Yeah.
But and finally, I got cut. I couldn't play anymore. I mean, I was damaged good. So I came back to New York, worked about 9 months of construction, made about close to $85,000 because I worked time and a half, double time, welding, laying brick, doing this, doing that, and made a ton
working blue collar.
But I was true blue collar, and a lot of people, how do you know about welding? I said, well, what do you want to know? I could read plans for the whole thing, and then finally, I'll never forget.
What, you knew how to do it from doing it?
Oh, absolutely. My uncle just threw it in the midst because I worked for him. And then next thing you know, I started, and I was joking around. I was always having fun, and I was always lighthearted and stuff. But, I wound up going back, and I needed to leave Long Island because people kept asking me about football. My career was over. There was no way I was ever going to go to a D2 school after playing Big Ten. There was no way I was going to do any of that. So I wound up saying, no, I'm just going to go ahead and finish my undergrad. And I finished my undergrad at Cleveland State University, and then wound up going to law school at Case Western Reserve Law. And went to law school for about a little over a year and a half, and took a sabbatical. And my mother got ill, and I took care of her. But in the meantime, I started with a guy by the name of Steve Harvey. And Steve and I started together.
Like Steve Harvey?
Like the Steve Harvey. As a matter of fact, I'd show you the picture. I probably should have sent you a couple of pictures. Yeah, Steve and I started together. And the deal was I was going to hit the East Coast since I'm from the East. Steve was going to hit the West Coast. And a good friend of ours, Mike Veneman, who late Mike Veneman, was going to stick around on the Midwest area. And we were all going to trade off. And Steve just found, quicker success. So I was doing stuff. I was working for a radio station, working on my craft. And I was working for a company a station called WMMS in Cleveland, home of the Buzzard. And I started doing all these voices. Now, I did not know I was good enough to be able to do voices, but I was doing Bullwinkle in Greek because I couldn't speak English yet. I was only, I didn't speak English until I was like 6 years old, I think. And I would.
So were you funny all through school and college? I mean, was there something? Were you ever doing open mics or anything, or were you like, screw law school, I'm going to go do jokes?
Yeah, when you confuse torts for French pastry, you really got to get out of law school. Usually. So I wound up.
Life directed your path, huh?
Yeah, oh my God. I worked for a law firm in Cleveland. I got a chance to work. I worked on Capitol Hill, which I did enjoy. I worked for a congresswoman from Cleveland, so I worked on Capitol Hill. Then I also got a chance to work at DOD. So I do have I still wear button-down shirts, for God's sakes. I can't get out.
Right.
So, for me, it was always something creative, but I was always goofing off and having fun. But when it was time to have fun, all the judges loved me because I was always goofing off with them, and I can get just about anything I wanted. I started off as a court runner. If there's any people who are in the law business, a court runner is the guy who really, and the woman who really files all the papers all over. I can get judgments signed. I can get this done because the judges really enjoyed having me around. And
they're the doers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They just said, oh, my God. So one day, my cousin Mike, my mom was in a hospital. And my cousin Mike, he said, you really got to go out and let's just go out and go to a comedy club and laugh a little bit. I said, sure. So I went to the comedy club, saw these professional comedians, and I don't want to say who it was, but I started laughing. I'm like, this is garbage. This guy is horrific. I don't know how he got. And yes, I do have an ego. There's no two ways about it.
Right, right.
And I'm like, this guy. And so my cousin, he's looking at me and goes, well, how about this? I bet you $20 you won't go on stage on an open mic night. I said, $20, man, my ego's so thick. I said, not only will I do that, but if I win, you're going to pay me $40 because there is no way you're going to win. So
you're like, I'm going to need that $40, man.
Oh, my God, $40 back then with a lot of money brought up.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I just start laughing. I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, I wound up going into my own law firm and telling all the non-legal personnel to come to the show. And they said, "Oh,
And you had no idea what you were going to do. You were going to wing
no
it.
clue." I just told them I was entering this contest. You got to come. You really got to come to the show.
Did you
And
write material? Did you do anything? Or you were like,
I stole every funny bit. From
right,
Cheech
of
and
course.
Chong, from
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
you name it. And I put together a 5-minute set. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know that I won the contest, right?
You killed
So
it.
not only did I win the $50 you got from doing that, the open mic night, but I got my cousins, $40 from there. It was a big payday at my
You're
house.
king of the office, man.
Oh, dude. Oh my God, you're so funny, Basil. You're so funny. I said, great. Now sleep with me.
Now I need to find some funny stuff.
So I wound up doing that, and one thing led to another, and I finished up my education and graduated, but I didn't graduate from law school. And then Steve and I were the two, I guess, standouts from the Cleveland area. And so I did my thing on the East Coast because I'm used to the East Coast, New York, New Jersey, upstate New York. And I went down south to Philly, and I went up and down the coast. And little by little, man, I started doing my stand-up, and people really, dug what I, because I was different. I wasn't your typical, I wasn't your Jerry Seinfeld as a monologist. I had to look at 3 hours and come up with 2 pages full of jokes about that. No, I was really, personality driven, and I was quick. And that's the one thing that really saved me. And that's what people, love me for, because I go, because not only do my stand-up in English, but I do my stand-up in Greek, and that takes me all over the world. So I do tours throughout Europe. I do tours in Australia.
So you do the same set in different languages?
No.
It's a completely different set.
Yeah, complete. And then I have a corporate show that I do for those who are I'll do a lot of things in government. So I work very closely with Congressman. As a matter of fact, he was just at my show. I just flew in this morning from Florida. So Congressman Gus Bilirakis from the Florida 13th District, I think, which is just outside of the Tampa area, came to my show with his chief of staff and a bunch of people from the office. So it was really, really cool. And a couple of
nice.
From the back in the day who are now big shots in government. And I was told not to mention them, but I said, sure, I won't.
Yeah, right.
So, it was really, really cool. So I have a real diverse, different type of attitude when it comes to my material. And my material, it stretches from dealing with my mother and an irascible father, dealing with people, things that people can truly understand. And for me, it's always fun to be able to do that and to able to work the crowd and then work my material within the crowd. And that's what makes it unique. If you're going to come and think you're going to sit there and watch someone just tell jokes on stage, no, you as an audience member are part of the show. And that's what makes it really unbelievably fun, is to have the audience as part of the show, because no two shows are ever the same.
Oh, so you're involving there. It's not just a set thing that you're going out there and the crowd's gonna dictate what happens on that stage a little bit.
In a way, but as soon as you see them lean in one direction, I just go right for them. And
sure.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter. My show is more of a PG-13
type
of a show. I'll use a couple of expletives here and there to really drive home a point, but I'm not your typical stand-up comic where sometimes I use language or the F word to really stick it in there so you guys know what. No, that's not my shtick. My shtick is from A to Z and all the hell that I go through, dealing, again, family, dealing with children, dealing with things that I've gone through, things that we went through all through with COVID. You try to bring the funny aspect and everything that we went through, and that's where the humor comes in. And of course, you use your voices like Bullwinkle and like other voices. One of the greatest times I had, what it said was, I did the voice of James Brown calling in from prison during the OJ trials. So I had syndications with, Bob and Tom. I was on Bob and Tom show for over a year. John Boy and Billy, and then I was on the Rick D's Countdown as the voice of James Brown calling in from prison. And it was hysterical because here you have this white Greek curly-haired, brown-eyed guy who's doing the voice of James Brown. And if people are, and I was doing it from everywhere. So, and it was simple.
I mean, so what, you have like a catalog of all the things that you know how to do, and you give it to your publicist and go, hey, I don't know who needs to know, or you're just, or how do you land this type of thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that even come about?
Yeah, like I said, I was working for the radio station. The gig was, the way I got the gig, I was waiting tables. I just quit law school. I don't want to say quit, just started the sabbatical. And Jeff and Flash were the big time jocks, and they would eat downstairs at this restaurant that I waited tables at, right? So I knew it was Jeff and Flash, and I walked up to them, and I was serving them their meal, and I go, for you and for you, and all of a sudden I go, hey man, that's a great bullwinkle. I said, thanks. One thing led to another. I said, why don't you come upstairs and cut a couple of lines for us? And that's the way it started. And I always tell people,
holy smokes.
if God gives you an opportunity, you take it. And so I went there, and I wound up doing the voice of Bullwinkle, but I couldn't speak, like I said, English, but I could imitate Bullwinkle, but I would do it in Greek as a child, because that was the great pacifier.
That is crazy.
So I would sit there, and I go to my mother, and I would do something like this. And my mom would go, that's it. We got to teach him English. This is bullshit. And so that's the way I started, doing that. And then little by little, I would imitate, when I was a kid, I was imitating Richard Nixon. I would do this, and I would imitate my aunts and my uncles, and I would put on a show. And I was doing it for free. And then
it's just what you were doing.
Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't get any pay, nothing. Again,
it was practice. That was practice, is what that was.
Yeah, it was free to help you make you into a star. I said, yeah. So we wound up literally going ahead, and that's the way I started doing the voices. And to me, it was
that is amazing.
Narrator. If you remember, you always had just when you thought that Bullwinkle Moose was safe, along with Rocker J Squirrel. And I would do little voices like that. James Brown was always like, good God Almighty, let me tell you white people up and down. Is he my big bud, Marshall Clark, along with Big Bud, Debbie Dotton, talking about Sushi Man, Soul Bill, Johnny Cochran, Ebony Pearl Bailey, and they were talking about a thing called DNA, also known as the nut. Now,
this is great.
That's a thing called G2, G3, G4, G5. Sushi Man, he'll jump back with, hey, you sunk my battleship. And that's what I would do. And it was great. So I'll never forget, George Veras, who was the executive producer of the NFL Today on CBS, he calls me up, and I know George personally. Okay. And so George also produced the Yanni in concert. If you remember Yanni at the Acropolis, it's about 20 years ago.
And I know who you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So George Veras was the exec producer of that. Then he was also the exec producer, and he's the one who actually fired Jimmy the Greek from the NFL. Okay. So Jimmy was just like, he was, I'm not going to say he deserved what he got, but he was just being
right.
Being to work with. Okay. So he calls me up and says, hey, we're doing this thing about Jimmy the Greek. I really want you to audition for this because I think you got the chops for it. I said, sure. And so my manager happened to come here to my studio, and he was at my office. He was vacationing down in North Carolina where I make my home. And we took a phone call from George Veras and the two executive producers, Fritz and Wendy Amino, and they wound up talking to me. He says, hey, listen, we got your recording. Wow, what a great, thing. You sounded like Jimmy the Greek. Bam, that was unbelievable. And this was a phone conference. It wasn't a telephone, with like Skype or Zoom or whatever. This was a phone. And they said, we loved it. We thought it's great. And I'm thinking, oh, great. I got the gig, right? And all of a sudden, but we want to know, can you do Jimmy the Greek from the dead? What? Yeah. But I didn't say what. And I'm like, my manager are looking at each other. I'm like, of course I can do Jimmy the Greek from the dead. There is what? Yeah. I was meant to do Jimmy the Greek from the dead. So what they wanted is kind of, you have to read between the lines. What they really wanted was to seem that he was more sorrowful, that he really felt bad for the way things went down. And
Ah,
and I said, sure, I can do that. I said, let me send you a. So for about 2 days, I was kind of working on the sides that they gave me, and I literally went out and started doing this. How he felt really sorry. I mean, this guy, as a kid, he witnessed his mother getting shot to death, and his aunt, the mother's sister, by a deranged uncle. He witnessed
yeah.
that. You know, and you're like, what you how do you go on through life like that, seeing your mother get murdered, your aunt get murdered, and then he started, because he was from Ohio, and he was from a place called Steubenville, Ohio. And Steubenville is kind of famous because Dean Martin was from Steubenville, Ohio, and they had like 13, 14 casinos, illegal gambling casinos, and he started laying down bets as a 13-year-old, and he was famous for laying down the big bet with it was called oh man, Great Lakes University versus Notre Dame for the national championship in the 50s.
Mm.
And he laid down this humongous bet with points and everything that Great Lakes was going to beat Notre Dame, and everyone had their money on Notre Dame, and they lost. And that's the way he became a great prognosticator of sports. But he was so funny. I mean, because when he would lay down those odds on the NFL Today, if you remember, he would sit there and goes, "Yeah, I'm giving 2.5, for to the Eagles over the Skins. I'm going to go a 1.5, well, the FCC said you can't do that, so he wouldn't.
Right.
So he would do this. I would go with Cleveland, like a little bit less than a safety. A little bit. Yeah, I would go a touchdown or a field goal. It was so funny, and I'd sit there. Even as a kid, I knew what the hell was going on, but I'm like, so to me that was always funny. But yeah, listen, it was a joy actually doing all that stuff and all the cartoon, and then they do stuff for a lot of Japanese anime, cartoon voices and stuff like that. Then we're working right now new situation comedy that I wrote, and so that hopefully.
Oh, you write too?
Oh yeah, I write. As a matter of fact, I just sold a movie. It's called Athenian Love Affair, and it'll be a co-production between Canada and Greece. And then there's a new movie that I wrote that's now
A love story, obviously, or is it?
No, not really. Not
comedy?
Really. It's a very, very dark comedy. And then the other one is a feel-good story that I wrote about my grandfather. And
Okay.
and my father told me the story the day that my grandfather died, and I was so bewildered how anyone can do what he did, almost sacrificing his family to help another family, and it was so touching to me. So I got all the information I could. Then, of course, this movie's based on a true story, but the thing is, I had to create the rest of the story. So I really loved the opportunity of having to do this, and I wrote it, and it took me 2 years to do because I have to make sure that all my facts are
Yeah.
correct.
Are you in the movie?
I would like to audition for this one part, but there's no guarantees. The only thing is you can request, and I think I would do a great job with it because I'm very animated on stage. So
Yeah.
the character of my one uncle is very animated, doesn't say a lot, and I think I'd be perfect for it. But that's for the director and the producers to make up their mind if they want to do something.
Oh, so you wrote the movie, but that has nothing to do with whether or not.
No, I will make my
Oh.
money from selling the movie and the points that I wind up getting if the movie is successful and all that. So I'm really digging. I opened up a company called Spice Rack Entertainment, and I'm like developing television shows, and then I go ahead and develop and write these scripts for film, and I really like doing that. I really do. It's taxing, drives you through the wall. But my true love is being on stage and having some fun. I mean, from start to finish, it'll be the best hour, 15 minutes you've ever had. and people are going to sit there. Where the hell has this guy been? But I am so excited playing Decatur because my philosophy has always been: once you play Decatur, where do you go from there? You really, you know what I'm saying? And then playing the Civic Center, that is,
I mean, who gets to come there?
Exactly. The Beatles always wanted to play.
I love it.
Happen. And here I am doing something that the Beatles want. And
This is great.
In there, and on my resume, they'll say, "Oh my God, Basil, you played London, Paris, Sydney. Whoa, Decatur."
You know what? We'll give you this shot. We'll give you the shot you want.
It's true, like I told you. It's true. Oh my
You're
God.
amazing, dude.
I'm excited, to be honest with you, Nick. I really am, and it's been a lot of fun. And I want to thank you so much for having me on the show.
Hey, you're amazing, man. I appreciate you taking out the time to chat with me, man. It's really cool. Well, I'm going to make a point of coming and stopping by and shaking your hand when you're in town. If you happen to be in town a little bit early or stay a little bit late, I'll take you to dinner if the chili Garrises don't beat me to it.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is what's going to happen. I'm flying in a day early so I can truly experience Decatur and
There you go.
beauty. And I heard the restaurant row in
This
Decatur.
is not false.
No, there's a restaurant
Yeah.
row there's a Big Boys, there is a Friendlies.
Oh, I was going to say, man, I think you might have backdated your Google search substantially, man. Maybe you should take me up on my offer of taking you around town, man. Yeah, I don't. If you went where Big Boy used to be, you might be disappointed. Yeah, yeah. Lock your doors, man.
Oh my God, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And
Now-
we have each other's numbers, so I'll make
Yeah.
sure. So, folks, listen, don't forget, I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see for crap. So, anyway, here we go. It's going to be Friday, March 7th, folks. March 7th at the Civic Center, Decatur.
Less than 2 weeks away.
Less than 2 weeks. And this is where the Beatles wanted to play. And could
They
never
know where
make
it's
it.
at.
I'm sure they do. Listen, its showtime is at 7:30. The doors open at 7 o'clock, for God's sakes. Big tickets are available. Go to DecaturCivicCenter.net. DecaturCivicCenter.net. Or call right now, 217-422-7300. Make sure you get your tickets. Buy tickets for the family. It's going to be, I don't want to say it's completely family friendly, but listen, it's PG-13. Come in. There's going to be a little bit of adult humor and stuff like that, but you're going to love the show. Listen, I got my priest coming. And I got a bunch of them coming in from Chicago. They're driving in 2 hours away.
Let's go.
Friends, relatives are coming down. So I want you all to be there too. Come and catch a pinch of basil over at the Decatur Civic Center. I'll see you March 7th. Nick, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you all for joining me, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Whether you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest, Tim and Cole are committed to providing personalized service and guidance every step of the way. Their passion for helping clients navigate the complexities of commercial real estate sets them apart in the industry. So, if you're ready to take your business to the next level or find that perfect commercial space, reach out to Viewig Commercial Real Estate. You can find them on all social media platforms at viewigrealestate.com or give them a call at 217-450-8500. Trust me, you'll be in great hands. And thank you, Tim and Cole, for your unwavering support of our show. If you're looking to refresh your space or tackle that long-awaited project, Clean Cut Painting and Handyman is here to help. Clean Cut specializes in a wide range of services, from stunning interior and exterior painting and small construction projects to room remodels, deck staining, and flooring. They truly have the expertise to transform your home into the beautiful sanctuary you've always dreamed of, or even just take care of the things you have been putting off that need done. And guess what? They have some fantastic promotions running this March. If you book any interior painting project for March or April dates, you'll receive an incredible 15% off. It's a perfect time to give your home a fresh look just in time for spring. If you're thinking of sprucing up the outside of your home, they've got that covered too. You can enjoy 10% off exterior painting projects under $5,000. And if you're planning a larger project, get ready for a jaw-dropping $1,000 off any exterior painting projects over $5,000. So whether you're looking to enhance your home's curb appeal or make your interior pop, Clean Cut Painting and Handyman is the one to call. Visit their website or give them a call today to take advantage of these amazing offers. Remember, when you choose Clean Cut, you're not just getting a service, you're supporting a company that empowers women in the industry. If you're in the market for custom apparel, look no further than Oakwood Screen Printing. This company specializes in all things apparel, offering high-quality designs on everything from t-shirts to hoodies to hats to bags to jackets to wall art to office swag to mugs to tumblers to, well, you name it, and they customize it. Whether you're promoting your business, celebrating a special event, or just want to express your unique style, Oakwood Screen Printing has you covered. What sets them apart is their attention to detail and commitment to customer satisfaction. They use top-notch materials and the latest printing techniques to ensure your designs look vibrant and last for years to come. For a limited time, if you use promo code BB217 at checkout, you will receive an additional 15% off your order. So, if you want to make a statement with your apparel, reach out to Oakwood Screen Printing today at oakwoodscreenprinting.com. You won't be disappointed.
Oh, that's how we live. Lessons learned, journeys shared, good vibes and laughs. We're fully prepared. Brought to you by Buick Real Estate. Let's dive deep. It's gonna be great. So grab a seat. Don't miss the ride. Beyond Business with Nick. Let's take it in stride. Join the conversation, let's make it last. With stories and insights, we're having